So you've got 2 sets of stitches there. What are you going to do with them now?
I have. This is supposed to represent a sock. You can see I've knitted it to a larger scale so I can show you easily what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you Kitchener stitch, or sometimes known as grafting, and it's a great way to make a really neat seam at the toe of your socks. You can also use it on other garments, like I sometimes use it on the shoulders of cardigans to create a really nice smooth edging. Now some people get a bit bent out of shape with Kitchener stitch because they think it's going to be difficult, but it's not really. It's just a matter of getting your head around the formula. The reason it's called Kitchener stitch is because Lord Kitchener tasked Queen Mary to get ladies to knit 300,000 socks for soldiers during World War I, and so that's why it has his name. Now, there's one tip I can give you for Kitchener stitch. Ignoring the first 2 stitches, which are part of the setup, you're always working stitches in pairs. And to remember what the first action is, if you look at this fabric, if you were knitting stocking stitch, that would be a knit row. So the first of your pair of stitches is going to be a knit. Now on the back is the reverse of the fabric, so the first stitch in your pair of stitches is going to be a purl. So let me show you what I mean. First of all, I'm going to do the reverse. I'm just doing the setup. So I'm purling the first stitch on the front, and I'm knitting the back and just leaving them where they are. Right, now we start our pairs.
Okay.
So you knit into this stitch, go and knitwise,
Okay.
and then go in and off, and go purlwise into this stitch, but leave it on the needle. And this one at the back, you're going in purlwise, and the next stitch you're going in knitwise, but you're leaving that second stitch on the needle. Okay. So I always leave it a bit looser as I'm going so that I can go back and just neaten up the stitches, but I can show you that in a second. So it's the knit face, so I'm knitting into that stitch and purling into that. And then I'm purling into the back and off and knitting into the next one. So it can get a bit jumbled if you're not too tight, but what I can do now is I can show you how the stitches are forming. So
Right.
if I just tighten this up, you can see that they're starting, you can start to see the V's. So if I just tighten it up a bit, you can see that they're going to look exactly like the V's of a stocking stitch.
Yes,
So it will become invisible.
And that's because you're going through each stitch twice in the sequence.
That's right, that's right. So let me just do a couple more. Knit, purl, purl, knit, knit, purl, purl, knit.
So the one that you go through the second time is the one that comes off each time. Yes.
Yeah, so knit comes off and then purl stays on. Purl comes off, knit stays on. So I always check as well that I've got the same, when I've done the back movement, that I've got the same number of stitches. So you can see 2, 4, 5, 2, 4, 5, so I know I'm still on track. So it's knit, off, purl, purl, off, knit, knit, off, purl, purl, off, knit. So I've still got 3 stitches on both needles, still the same number.
And you're just keeping along the whole way.
Yeah, I do tend to, usually when I knit socks, the pattern I use only has 8 stitches on each side. This one's got 10 today. So this is purl off knit. And it just requires a little bit of patience really, and just go slow, and you can take the time to rearrange your stitches afterwards to make it look absolutely super. So now we've got 2 stitches left. So you just knit off the front one and purl off the back like that.
Okay.
So now I can show you. See that? You can see they, with a bit of reorganisation.
They're starting to look like stitches now.
Yeah, they are. And it's an invisible join. You can also use it, and I've done this just recently, is I knitted a cardigan top down, and it wasn't long enough. So I separated at the rib at the bottom, I took the rib off and knitted up again, and then I grafted all the stitches all the way round back on. I mean, it's 300 odd stitches, and you do need to take it quite slowly and steadily and have good daylight.
Yes, I've seen shawl patterns as well, sort of rectangular shawls where it's joined in the middle, and I've seen it used for that as well.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I can understand that. That makes sense.
I think that way you get the pattern being completely symmetrical.
Yes. So I guess grafting is wherever you've got live stitches that you're working together, isn't it?
Yes.
So there we go. Then you just tie a knot, but you can see how those fit seamlessly with the
Yes.
stitches. And that's all there is to Kitchener stitch.